session to item 4.5. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dressler.
Aye.
Mrs. Camworth, aye. Mr. Johnson.
Just ask the question, why don't we get a discussion first?
Some items that just need to be discussed.
Okay.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Mrs. List. Ms. Stearns. Mr. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our regular agenda, item 2.1. Can I get a motion to approve the January 17th, 2023 regular and closed meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whitcomb, second by Ms. List. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Mrs. List. Aye. Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Mrs. Camworth, aye. Ms. Stearns. Aye. Mrs. Dressler.
Aye. Can I get a motion to approve the February 14th, 2023 committee of the whole and closed meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Camworth, second by Ms. List. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Camworth, aye. Mrs. List. Aye. Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Ms. Stearns.
Aye.
Mr. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Mrs. Dressler.
Aye. All right. Moving on, public comments. Do we have any public comments today? All right. We're going to move on to our superintendent report.
Thank you, Mrs. Ressler. First, want to thank our building principals as well as their administrative teams over the next 2 days, including this morning. We are participating in our annual data retreats where the admin teams share out important goals, improvements for the future, and it's been very productive, very encouraged at the direction that each of the buildings are taking, a smooth connection, and they're presenting information that the buildings can share amongst themselves to improve our organization. So thank you for the hard work and the teams that have put together their presentations both today and tomorrow. Second item, just want to let the board know that along with myself, there will be 9 administrators representing the district at the Investing in Our Future Scholarship Gala on March 1st. I'm a member of the Superintendent's Commission for the Study of Diversity and Demographics. It's a South Suburban Cook County Collar organization that provides scholarships for high school students. This year, we have partnered with the UNCF, and we're doing a large fundraiser at Tinley Park Convention Center. And our journey, our job is to try to provide as many scholarships to students not only in our district, but also in our surrounding districts as members of the commission. So looking forward to a great event. Happy to put a team together to represent the district on March 1st. And then finally, congratulations on behalf of the district to the Oak Forest cheer team that you will be introduced to here shortly. Thank you for the family, friends, and fans that have come out to support this fantastic team. Just a special congratulations to Coach Christine DeVenti, her staff, and of course our bingo athlete, student athletes. Coach DeVenti has made history. She's been making history, but she is the first coach in district history to have 3 state championships, along with 11 total state trophies. And it's just, when I was principal here, I was honored to be a part of many of those performances and watch as a fan. And if you've never been, I highly encourage you to go down and see it. It's like nothing else. The amount of pressure that the athletes are under, and for them to come in crunch time, it's just really, really awesome to see. So congratulations to the cheer team, which you will see later today as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to our FOIA request.
Thank you, Mrs. Ressler. We had a few FOIA requests here since our last board meeting. Michelle Petak requested the written contract between District 228 and the Evolve Express or Evolve Technology, or to review the district's weapons detection software agreement. This request has been completed. Nathan Mihelich, the Illinois Retired Teachers Association, requested the name and email address of any certified staff, teachers, admins, nurses, counselors, etc., who are retiring this year. This request has been completed. Josiah Chatterton from Local Labs, employee information, specifically teachers, with the following data points for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022. Requested first name, last name, position title, department, pay rate, year-to-date gross pay. This request has been completed. Bo Kim from unionbids.com requested the January 27, 2023 bid results, tabulations, or reward for Bremen Community High School District 228, the Oak Forest High School domestic water replacement, the welding shop remodeling, and asbestos abatement project for commercial purposes. this request has been completed, will be completed by Friday. And then finally, Anthony Walt, Chicago's Laborers District Council, requested copies of the notes of the wording announcement of the mechanical bid, Bremen High School Welding Shop Remodeling Project, General Trades, Oak Forest High School Domestic Water Replacement Project, Demolition, Oak Forest High School Domestic Water Replacement Project, 2023 Asbestos Abatement Projects for Oak Forest High School, General Trades bid, Bremen High School Welding Shop Remodeling Project, all with the awarded contractor and awarded date. This request will be completed by Friday. That is all for Freedom of Information Act requests.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sikora. Moving on to our principal reports.
Good evening. Welcome to Oak Forest. Several things have kept us busy since we met the last time. One of them, of course, is that we did our Spirit Week this past month. And the end of that, we had a winter dance that was enjoyed by many. We are celebrating Black History Month, also with lots of activities and observances. The annual art contest is underway, and we had students partake in a cultural fair last Wednesday, actually here. Possibly you've seen some of those videos that were floating around on Instagram and things like that were all posted. That was a day enjoyed by many. Some of our highlights in the sporting arena as we wrap up winter sports are our boys wrestling sent 6 individuals to state last weekend. Tim Marizak, Jackson Castaneda, Steve Strelo, Hunter Daniel, Max Correll, and Caden Musselman. And Caden Musselman actually ended up finishing 5th place overall in the state in his weight class. We had 2 bowlers head to the state tournament this past weekend. Bella Chesnowski and Chris Smith both finished in the top, Bella in 48th place and Chris in 58th place in the state. So congratulations to them. Competitive dance made it to day 2 and they finished 12th in the state. Girls wrestling this upcoming weekend is sending 5 individuals to state. Alex Seebeck, Sabrina Cifuentes, Maya Correas, Foons, Isabel Perlita, and Ryan Reeves. We had some news in our girls basketball program as well. Janae Kent became the school's all-time leading scorer this last week with over 2,000 career points, and Olivia Baxa became the school's all-time leader in 3-pointers last week as well. So quite a week for those young ladies. Boys swim won the conference for the first time since 2011 last week, and David Martinez qualified for the state in the 100-meter breaststroke. And then we had a little bit of news on the front since we were last together with our cheer team, and Dr. Sikora mentioned already. I'm going to tell a story that I don't even think I told to Christine, but about probably almost 20 years ago, I was in the audience in a gymnasium, and Christine was standing talking to a group of parents who were involved in the Bobcat cheerleading program. And Christine actually ran that many years ago, probably almost 20 years ago. And I was sitting in the audience as a parent. 2 of my daughters were actually cheerleaders on Bobcats way back when. And I listened to Christine speak passionately and eloquently about cheerleading. I've never told you this story, have I? No. And I walked away from that knowing absolutely 2 things about Christine. Number 1, I knew that this lady was passionate about cheerleading, right? And the second thing that I knew about Christine is that she meant business. Am I right? If you heard Christine talk, you know those 2 things. And I was right. I was right 20 years ago about her, and we were lucky enough, blessed enough to have her come join our team here at Oak Forest High School as a coach. And as you can see, she has had unprecedented success with the cheerleading program. There are programs in our district that have had 1 championship, and that is phenomenal. We have had a few select programs that have had 2. Never the type of success that not only with 3 championships, state championships, but also just year after year after year. And that's all because of her, all of you, and absolutely the athletes as well. So a couple other things that I want to say is that this year was pretty special. The theme of the program this year is Girl Power, and they selected that as a remembrance of the fact that this was 50 years since Title IX was passed and women got the equal access to sports. And I think the women in the room and the men in the room as well can appreciate how powerful that was, and the fact that that was 50 years ago. It's the first time in a long time that Christine's, excuse me, had an all-female team, so that sort of aligned. Christine is a proud mom of daughters and even a grandmother of daughters, so, you know, having those girls near and dear to her heart, and then the special group of student athletes that she has as well. So if you don't know cheerleading, which many of us don't, maybe on this side, you get points based on a lot of things. Some of it is your tumbling and your jumps and your pyramids and your tosses, you know, those things where we all go like that. So there's a certain amount of points that you get when you put together your routine. Well, we knew going into this season, Christine knew, the girls knew, the parents knew, that this routine that they had put together could be a state championship routine. Because of the caliber of the athletes that we had this year, we just knew that this could be it. You do the math and you calculate it, that's what good coaches do, and they knew that. They had some really great success early on. They were winning lots of different tournaments, and then they got to conference and there was a little bit of a, you know, we just had to kind of do a little gut check there. So we got to state, and we knew we needed to hit it, right, ladies? So the first day, they went out there, they put forth their best effort, and Christine was nervous. She was really nervous, like, did they do enough to make it? And I told her, Christine, they did what they needed to do, right, to get to day 2, because we could see that. Christine, the ultimate critic, wasn't so sure. So we found out they made it, and that was wonderful. Driving down there the whole next day, I just kept thinking, this could be the story. You know, these girls, they have the talent, but it takes a lot of things to be state champions, right? It doesn't just take the talent. It takes the right routine, and it takes the right routine at the right time. And it was phenomenal because they came through that day, they had the right routine at the right time. So the journey that they took made it even more special. So I just want to give all the appreciation that we have at Oak Forest, all the recognition for the hard work. These girls are phenomenally hardworking, as their parents can attest to, both in the field house and in the classroom, and it just takes a huge amount. So Mr. Boniface was able to put together sort of this nice little video for us to watch a little bit of the journey. We'll make sure you guys get a copy of this and enjoy the road.
state champions. Come on up to the front. Our senior class, as you can tell here, if you're a senior on this team, you have walked the state podium for 4 consecutive years, either in first or second place. Incredible accomplishment. Congratulations, girls. Like everybody else has said, it's just been a great thing to be a part of. It's just been a phenomenal experience. They're the hardest working girls in the school. They're the hardest working athletes we have, and it's not a knock on anybody else. That's just what they do to get to this level of success. And it's just been, I've been around it on the outside looking in, and now to be a little bit closer to it this year has just been a great experience. So congratulations to the state champions.
Can we take a quick picture? Okay.
Do you want to come behind it? Behind him? All right, go all around.
There's enough hardware to go around.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Thank you. We have a formation.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Now like, yeah. Beautiful, thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. How many seniors? Raise your hand.
7.
Wow, all right. Well done.
Thank you.
And congratulations, parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles.
One last thing, Kevin. Through a lot of hard work on Kevin's behalf, I will display the plaque that was awarded to Oak Forest High School. We saved the most money based on the upgrades we did to our electric. Our energy efficiency is the highest savings in the world. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Well, I sure am glad that you presented that plaque, because I wasn't sure how I was going to follow up after the cheerleading. There you go, Kevin. There you go. On behalf of Tinley Park High School, we wish all the best to our 21 students who are headed to the Business Professionals of America at State. They're going to compete this weekend at Oak Brook. Our business professional program always does an outstanding job, and we wish them the best of luck. We had an honors assembly, our first semester honors assembly just a few weeks ago. Dr. Sikora was on hand to shake hands and present certificates to all of our kids. We've, hopefully, because I've been around a long time, we've changed our format a little bit, and it's really about our Titan students honoring our Titans, and our culinary arts classes make breakfast for all of the honored students. I will tell you, it's quite a spread. Dr. Sikora was there to witness it. Everything from hot foods and yogurt parfaits to hot chocolate machines to you name it. They had it. They did it up right for their fellow classmates. And I think that's kind of like the ultimate mark of respect that not only are they there to celebrate and clap, to honor them for getting a certificate, but they get to share this moment and their culinary talents together. A big shout out. We may not be the cheerleaders, but we're chess. Our chess team went downstate this year for the first time in 10 years. Although our chess team is only 8 large, which poses a little bit of difficulty in the competition level. You want to talk about just 8 excited kids, and Mark Rice, their coach, What a great experience for all of them, and we're just excited for their accomplishments. I will get you a date, but I want to put it kind of in your minds, and Ms. Stearns is already aware of this. Our Taste of Tinley, our third round of Taste of Tinley is going to come up again, and the reason why I point her out is her and her husband were actually participants in our events last year. It's a unique family engagement opportunity where, you know, sure, you can meet your math teacher and your English teacher and your science teacher, but how nice to meet them over food. So basically our different departments get together and they cook some type of a food item and give off samples, and students can bring their parents and say, hey, this is my math teacher, and have a cheeseburger, or they get pretty competitive, and we have some different awards. It's just a nice way for parents and students to see their teachers a little bit in a different light, and to be quite honest with you, everybody likes to eat. And finally, wrapping up, we've had a whole month of Black History Month celebrations and honors. We're pretty excited because on February 28th, bringing the month to a close, we have a pretty large-scale event that we're planning at Tinley Park High School at 2 o'clock. Everybody is invited. I would encourage you to attend because not only is it Tinley Park High School that's participating in it, but we also have our sister schools that are sending some groups over to participate. Music, dancing, readings, it's going to be a great event. So 2 o'clock, Tuesday, February 28th, you're all invited. Thank you.
Good evening from the Bremen Braves. Talking state with my colleagues here. We had 4 wrestlers go down state this past weekend, and we, for the first time, had 3 of them finish as medalists. So we had Nori Turner, who finished in 4th place, Alex Jackson finished in 4th place, and making state history, Morgan Turner, a female wrestler, medaled, first female wrestler to medal in the boys state tournament. So that was a great accomplishment for Morgan. She ended up finishing 3rd. African American History Month, we are finishing up with some culminating activities as well. This Thursday, if anyone is available to stop by, we are hosting, our Diversity Club is hosting the Health and Wellness Fair. We did this last year for the first time. Diversity Club spearheaded it, and we've got a lot of different community organizations that are coming in. Everything from little sessions on healthy eating, alcohol awareness, mental health. There's a double Dutch area, some different food samplings. Our nurse makes smoothies and kind of exposes our students to different offerings, things that they're not necessarily accustomed to. Zumba. Jewel Osco is coming out and providing shots, flu shots, if students enrolled. Thanks to Yasmin for sending out some information to our families. So lots of cool offerings on Thursday to kind of wrap up African American History Month by our Diversity Club. They've done a great job really putting together a lot of cool activities this month. We also hosted our sneaker ball, which is kind of a fun play on our turnabout. Turnabout was kind of dwindling in interest, so our STEP team kind of took it over and went with a sneaker ball, which was a big hit for our students. This week we're going to be hosting Pizza with Principals, and it's a way that we are able to allow our students to have some voice in the things that are going on at Bremen. So we posted some QR codes and kind of shared the information with students. Any students in the building could sign up to come talk to myself and our other assistant principals just about what they like, what they don't like, things they want to see changed, things that they want to get involved with. So that's going to be happening on Thursday. And Pipe Fitters 597 came out. We had 100 students that actually, thanks to Roger Young and Justin Spagarin, 2 of our CTE teachers, they put together a great experience for the Pipe Fitters 597 to come out and just expose our kids to what offerings they have for career and apprenticeship programs. So that was really neat for our kids to kind of get an idea of what that looks like and how they can get a foot in the door with that program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, I got to Hillcrest on the Monday after Oak Forest wins their latest state championship, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you okay?" Why? You got a little FOMO, fear of missing out. You leave Oak Forest, and they win a state championship. I didn't have that until seeing the video today. Now I have. Congratulations to them, though. So right after the last board meeting, we hosted a scholarship night. We noticed as an admin team, a lot of the local scholarships that are available to the students, we didn't have a real good showing by our students to apply for scholarships. So Brandy Mathis, our college and career coordinator, hosted a scholarship night. And we had a bunch of the local scholarships actually come and set up tables around the cafeteria. The parents came with the students. It was a great night. we hired, her name's Scholarship Mama, who walked, yes, Scholarship Mama. She walked everyone kind of through the whole process, you know, informed and educated our parents on the scholarship process and everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a good showing this year. Also, this past month, we hosted a teacher appreciation night for basketball, and then we also hosted, in conjunction with Oak Forest, one of our teachers that we both have, Katie Gomez, her son was recently diagnosed with cancer, and so we did a benefit. We hosted the boys, you guys hosted the girls, isn't that how? Something like that. And raised money for the family that night, and our staff came out. We all had t-shirts and things like that we had purchased to support the family, so that was a great night. We also recently, this past Friday, our girls won the regional basketball championship, and they are playing actually tonight, so I'll leave here and go back. Game starts at 7:30. Hillcrest is hosting the sectional semifinals tonight. And then Black History Month. So we've had a bunch of different activities this month. We had door decorating. We had what we call the Origins Fest, which was music and dance and food and things like that. On Fridays, we have every Friday during Black History Month, we have a DJ in the cafeteria. We serve some soul food. That's Dexto makes for our students and things like that. And then tomorrow, 2 o'clock, is our Black History Month assembly. I'd love to have anyone that's available to come. If you can't make it though, it'll be streamed on YouTube as well. So go to the Hillcrest page on YouTube, you can check that out. It was a great event. It was awesome last year, my first experience with it. And you know, we're hoping to make it a little bit bigger and better this year. So thanks.
Thank you. All our principals, we don't have the.
We have Aaron today.
All right, moving on to item 4.4, our property tax relief grant presentation. Ms. Morrison.
Thank you, Ms. Ressler. Tonight, I just wanted to take a few moments to kind of go over our 2023 property tax relief grant. It's only a couple of slides, and I know you're all super disappointed about that. Not like my usual presentations. I set this up.
You did.
And got prepared.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so just a little bit of background. The property tax relief grant was created with the passing of evidence-based funding for the purpose of providing some tax relief to our local communities for those districts that have some of the highest tax rates in the state of Illinois. The other side of that is that the state makes up those foregone revenues with what they call the relief grant. So basically the way that it works is districts can apply to receive a grant, and in return they have to lower property taxes for their communities. Approximately $50 million has been allocated to the property tax relief grant program in the state of Illinois budget, but this does not include 2021. 2021 being the year after COVID, the state took a break. They decided not to fund it, but it is back, and this will be our 4th year. So it's basically broken down into 3 steps. The first step is that ISB determines the grant and abatement amounts. They determine this by calculations including individual district annual financial data, including organization type, equalized assessed valuations, operating tax rates, and then they basically rank all of the eligible districts according to those criteria. The next step after ISB alerts the districts that are going to receive the grant is that the district has to abate its property taxes. That is where we are right now, tonight. So the item on the agenda for the resolution is to have the board authorize me to file documents with the Cook County Clerk to lower the property taxes for the properties in District 228. So that's where we are right now. From there, I will take the approved resolution, file that with the Cook County Clerk, and then the Cook County Clerk files a certificate of abatement with ISB certifying that we have in fact filed our resolutions and we are going to be lowering property taxes for 228. And then the final step is in May of 2023, the district will receive that money that we were promised in our grant because we've completed all the previous steps. So just kind kind of to summarize, we're going to lower property taxes, and then the state picks up the tax instead of the taxes. Does that make sense? Okay, so I just wanted to touch on a couple of other highlights and how our specific data is impacted for 2023. So in order to receive the property tax relief grant, districts are required to abate taxes for 2 years. So the resolution that you see in your board packet tonight covers 2022 and 2023. It's also important to remember that tax years are different from fiscal years. Tax years go from January 1 through December 31st. Fiscal years go through July 1 through June 30th. So that's kind of why you see a little bit of why I always differentiate between tax year, fiscal year. The dates are different. The other important piece to note is that the grant amount that the district receives gets included in our evidence-based funding minimums moving forward. So every year, the grant amount that we receive gets included in just our regular hold harmless amount when they do our calculation. So that's essentially equals increase to evidence-based funding. So every year that they fund this program and we abate the taxes, we essentially get to take that money back in our evidence-based funding money every year. Does that make sense? Okay. This year, the 2023 District 228 grant amount is $3,833,158. This is the money that we will receive from the state in May of 2023. In order to receive that money though, tonight you will vote on the resolution authorizing me to instruct the clerk to abate taxes in the amount of $3,912,837. This is the amount of taxes that get lowered for the taxpayers of the community. Because the guidelines state that we have to abate for 2 years, that's $3.9 million for tax year 2022. That money is collected in 2023, and that's another $3.9 million in 2023 collected in 2024. So that's pretty much the basics, the overall rundown. Does anyone have any questions? I know it sounds confusing, so are there any questions on any of that information? Did I explain it clearly enough?
Do you know what the average homeowner will receive?
Yes, so in 2020, the last time when we were reassessed by the Cook County assessor, the median fair market value home was $139,900. For a homeowner with that fair market value, you could expect your taxes to be lowered anywhere between $120 and $150 annually. But I cannot say that for sure until I see a copy of your property tax bill. There are any number of things that can happen that would affect your tax bill. For example, if your assessed value goes up, which will happen because this year is an triennial assessment year, yes. So if that happens, that number would either increase or decrease based on what happens to your valuation.
Why the difference of almost 100,000?
So those numbers are essentially calculated based on the district's individual financial data, including our equalized assessed valuation for the entire district, and then how it relates to the averages in the state. So the state determines what the average is for every high school district, every elementary district, and every unit district, and then ranks you in line with that average. And so the numbers don't exactly match up all the way because it's basically ranking you how you relate to the average. Does that make sense?
Any other questions for Ms. Morrison? Thank you so much for putting that
I hope that was
together.
helpful.
No, it was very helpful. Thank you very much. All right, can I get a motion to go to closed session to consider information regarding the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS section 122C1.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Whitcomb, second by Ms. List. Can I get roll call, please?
Mr. Whitcomb?
Aye.